Good evening. As I've done with the other two hotels I've stayed at this vacation, yes, belated was the Holiday Inn Express and then Ibis City South in Budapest. The Holiday Inn Express was in Greenwich in London. And tonight is my last night here at Premier Inn Kensington, Earl's Court. Do you like my new haircut? What a segue. A sidebar. Now I've just tied it up, making myself look a little bit more presentable. Anyway, no surprise, you guessed it. Out of the three hotels, Premier Inn, Kensington, Earl's Court is my preferred choice of location. If OMD and Depeche Mode were also in London, OMD was in London at the O2 Arena, and the reason I wanted to stay near the arena, based on my first attendance at the O2 Arena, which was Kylie Minogue's X tour of her X album, as in X, the letter X. Remember, it was a bit of a train crush getting to the station, North Greenwich. Probably to go back to Premier Inn or one of the hotels down this end of town, and I made it home okay. But yeah, I didn't want to experience that again. I mean, it was orderly to the point people were pushing or, scrambling madly, but it was crowded, and I just didn't want to experience that again. So that's why I chose to stay in Greenwich, which was, a bus ride or walking distance from the O2 Arena. I was grateful that Bananarama played at the London Palladium, although it was my first time at that venue. Again, yes, it's a few stations away from Earl's Court, and it did take 2 subway lines, but yeah, it was relatively easy, and the train wasn't crowded in either connection. I think I took something like the Bakerloo or one of the lines to connect back to either the District or Piccadilly. That's also another advantage of where you decide to choose to stay in London. Not only is it handy, obviously, to be near an underground station, which you would likely be, because London is well serviced in that respect. Earl's Court Station is serviced by the District and the Circle Line, so if one has poor service, and you are kept up to date very much by the train staff, either the station staff with PA announcements, you can fall back on the other line as a backup. So the Premier Inn, where I am now, another chain franchise hotel, so if you stayed at Premier Inns before, you know pretty much what to expect. Pretty much there's no negatives. Just observe, it is an older hotel, like the building itself. They try to keep the rooms fresh and obviously repainted and everything, but just looking at the style of the carpet and the decor, maybe it's just a little bit dated, but all you're doing in the hotel room, or for me anyway, is just a roof over your head and a place to sleep. You're spending most of the day sightseeing and out and about, and you're just coming back for a nice hot shower and sleep. So it'll do. The location in proximity to Earl's Court Station is great. If you know the area, if you go to, I think it's Gloucester Road, or maybe one station further up, South Kensington, it's walking distance from the museums, such as the Natural History Museum. And if you're lucky enough to see any concerts, it's also walking distance from there to the Royal Albert Hall. Very amazing venue. Just like the other two hotels, there's no room service, but there's a restaurant downstairs which you can bring food up, which I did once when I was here. There is a small vending machine on the ground floor, which I haven't needed to use. Very, very limited. It's a very, very small vending machine, unlike the range you can imagine in Tokyo or somewhere like that. Earl's Court Road, walking distance about 5-8 minutes walk, has plenty of places to eat, which I've pretty much eaten at them all. But yeah, Jollibee being one of them. Yeah, I recommend Premier Inn if you if you've stayed at Premier Inn before or contemplating to stay at Premier Inn, I do recommend it. And this location, yes, it's not right in the heart of town. I don't know if you like that. I wouldn't want to stay in Leicester Square or, you know, Piccadilly Circus, where it's right. And yes, you are pretty much in the heartbeat of town, but I don't think you need to be that close, and the prices may be more expensive, obviously, the closer you get into the touristy areas. You'd have to deal with that. Massive amounts of tourists, as you saw from the footage of the bus to me when I had the lunch on the bus. You saw how crowded it was as you get to areas like Trafalgar Square. It's just, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Again, if you stay at a hotel there, you're just there to sleep, but I don't need to be right there. I like to have a little bit of distance between me and everyone else. Go away. No. So, Kensington's a lovely area, and Premier Inn gets my thumbs up. I think just looking at the numbers in the elevators here, there's only 6 floors, so it's not a tall building, but it is spread over 2 sides of the street. There's that walkway on the 2nd floor, which it's a bit maze-like. The first time I remember today, I met when I say met, walking along with 4 new guests coming in, 2 couples, I believe, older couples. Very easy to talk to. Small talk as you do. Elevator is very small. I was, back and forth, like saying, "Oh, are you really all in one room?" And he goes, "No, we're not that close." They were saying how they intonated that they were sharing 4 people in one room, and I thought, wow, it's close quarters, but they weren't. I don't remember one of the room. I'll need Google Maps to find my way back to the lobby. It can be a little bit confusing at first. That walkway on level 2, you need to cross that. You need to take that walkway to get to the other levels on this side where I am. If you don't take that walkway, you won't get to your room, basically. So maybe they put, I don't know, single travelers, or when I say independent travelers, like retirees, where they put families with small children on the side of the road where they don't need to take the walkway, because you'd have prams and pushers and toddlers to take care of, and it'd be easier without people having to take the walkway. Or rather, that demographic of people not to take the walkway would be a better choice. So every overseas trip I've experienced, I do have how'd you put it, a lull, a period of feeling homesick. That's me. But I am looking forward to go home. As Dorothy said, there's no place like home, and how true that is. And now that I'm an apartment, lucky and privileged to be, humbled to be an apartment owner, yes, with a big mortgage, but it's nice. Equally nice to have a break out of your comfort zone, but equally nice to be back in my comfort zone when I return to Doncaster. My flight tomorrow with Qantas doesn't leave till 8:45 p.m. at Heathrow, so I've got plenty of time to get there. I'm not frantically, gotta get there. I think that's why I booked this myself. I haven't used a travel agent in years, thanks to the internet and the ease of booking. I purposely chose an evening flight, or maybe there weren't that many choices actually. I think out of Heathrow internationally there's limited timing, so I didn't want a crack of dawn flight, and I won't do that again, as I did leaving Melbourne to Heathrow under 3 weeks ago. I'm not a morning person. I don't want to take a 6 a.m. flight or thereabouts again. Note to self, do not do that again. So that's it. I recommend Premier Inn. I also recommend Holiday Inn and Ibis, but just do a bit of research, think about where you might want to be, what you might want to see, how close is it to transport, if you're traveling by yourself, if you're traveling with others. Anyway, that's all from me tonight from Premier Inn. My last night here in London. Oh, my very last night here in London. Oh, sweet. All right. Good night, everyone. Until the next video. Bye.